Hi everyone, welcome to another video by Optionables. My name is Saket and in today's video we are going to look at what happened to the markets, what we can expect from the markets tomorrow and also what happened to our trade. So if you see US markets yesterday, they almost closed at the lowest point, which is almost 2% down. And this was followed on to the Asian markets as well. So even Asian markets ended up opening almost 1% lower. Yesterday, if you remember, when I actually made the video, SGX Nifty was trading around 150 points higher. But today morning, we ended up opening around 50-60 points lower. The markets did open 50-60 points lower, but the sell-off didn't just end there. So it tried to consolidate around 15,800. Immediately around 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, we started to see a huge sell-off in the markets, which actually took the markets down all the way to 15,680 levels. For Bank Nifty, it was much worse and Bank Nifty almost fell up till 32,100 levels at its lowest point. So that was around 600-700 points down from yesterday's close. But towards the afternoon session, around 12:30-1 o'clock is when the buying actually started. So there was some bit of short covering and there was also some very good buying coming in from DIIs, which actually took the market up higher, and both Nifty as well as Bank Nifty ended the day in positive. Bank Nifty was almost up by 300 points and Nifty was also up by 150 points, where it ended up closing above 16,000 and Bank Nifty also closed above 33,000. So that means, have we actually bottomed out? In the yesterday's video, we had discussed that we are almost close to the bottom. So does this mean we have actually bottomed out? The answer is no. Even if you look at the FII DII figure today, FIIs have sold for close to 8,000 crores and this is the highest ever I have seen in the recent times. So because when you actually look at the data, you see that in the last 3 days, they have sold over 20,000 crores. That is around 7,000, 7,500 and 8,000 crores. All in all put together around 20,000 crores in just 3 trading sessions, and this is a huge figure, and the selling doesn't seem to end anytime soon because every day you look at the market, they're selling more and more in value. Few months back the average was around 1,000 crores and later the average was around 3,000 crores. Now the average is somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 crores on a daily basis. So the number is getting bigger and bigger every day. And we should always remember the favorite stocks of FIIs is HDFC as well as Kotak. So in the banking sector especially, because this is where the highest FII holdings is there, especially in the HDFC group. So whenever FIIs are selling, you generally see HDFC Bank as well as HDFC underperform quite a lot. So we have already seen that HDFC Bank has crashed from 1,700 levels to almost 1,300 levels just because of FII selling. If you look at their quarterly performance, it has been improving ever since COVID. So financially, there is nothing wrong with HDFC Bank, but since FIIs are selling so heavily, it is not able to go up. So next, you might ask, Saket, yesterday itself, you told we are somewhere close to the bottom, then where exactly is the bottom? So what is this move today? So one thing which I would like to tell you is don't create any long positions until we close above 16,800. So that is a very strong support zone for Nifty. It had taken support for quite some time and finally 16,800 is broken and now that is going to act as a very strong resistance for Nifty. So that's the reason, unless 16,800 is taken out on the upside, do not enter any long positions. On the downside, I am expecting 15,000 to act as a very strong support. So then what exactly are we supposed to do? So one idea what I have for the current market scenario is, because I told we might bottom out sooner or later. So that's the reason I was thinking of selling 13,000 put options of June 2022 contracts. So right now it is trading somewhere around 150 rupees. So what we have to understand here is the markets have already corrected close to 17%. If it has to go to 13,000, it has to further correct around 12 to 13% more. So is that possible? Definitely yes. But the chances are pretty low. So right now I personally believe the sell-off is not yet over and we might see the sell-off continue. And this, what we saw today, was just a short bounce back. So now one more very important thing which I would like to tell you is about the IV. So whenever you see a huge market crash and you expect that the markets can actually end up bouncing, one thing you should definitely avoid is going long on call options. When the markets is crashing violently, the uncertainty is going to be extremely high. So that's the reason IV would have shot up quite a lot, and once the market slowly starts to recover, the IV is going to cool down. In the short term, let's say today Bank Nifty you saw was up by almost 1%, which is 300 points. On a normal day, this is a huge move, Bank Nifty moving 1%. But on days like this, 1% is absolutely nothing. So even though Bank Nifty went up by 1%, all the out of money call options today, you can actually open the option chain and check everything from 33,000 call option all the way down till the end of option chain. All the call options lost value. This is because one thing you have to understand, when the markets is crashing down violently, people would have priced in a huge volatility. When the market recovers slowly, the fear reduces. Once the fear reduces, the IV will come down crashing. So when the IV crashes, for the short term, let's say the move is very short of around 300 to 400 points in the current scenario, the effect of IV crash is going to be way more than the option delta. As we move on in the video, I'll show this to you on Sensibull on how exactly IV will end up affecting your option price. So do not miss that out and watch the video till the end. And one more thing is, if you look at today's gainers as well as losers, so the top gaining sector was definitely IT. So Infosys, TCS, everything ended up doing well because the rupee is weakening quite a lot, and we had also discussed why exactly rupee weakening will help these IT companies. So one more interesting thing what I would like to tell you is, before COVID, banking and finance sector in Nifty had a weightage of close to 35%. Literally 1/3 of the weightage was given by banking and finance sector to Nifty. But recently, due to outperformance of IT as well as underperformance of banking, the equation has changed. So now IT contributes around 22% of the total weightage in Nifty, as well as banking contributes only 24%. So you can see a significant drop in the contribution by banking to Nifty and a significant increase in contribution from IT. So IT was hardly contributing around 12 to 15%. Now that has gone up to 23% weightage in Nifty. So you can clearly see that the focus is shifting more towards technology stocks than banking stocks. And this is much more expected on the expected lines, because you see any developed countries, most of the weightage of the major index is provided by the technology stocks. So this is one thing which I would like to point out. Why? Because before, if Bank Nifty actually ended up moving, it would literally drag Nifty in its direction because it had a weightage of around 35%. Since now the weightage is slowly shifting and becoming more evenly distributed, it is not going to be the case. So the Bank Nifty move might differ significantly from the Nifty's move because it only contributes around 24% right now. So with this, we'll be quickly moving on to the video, and we'll also look at what exactly happened to our trades. And I also hope you guys have liked this video. If so, then please do hit the like button, share this video as well as subscribe to Optionables, and stay till the end to see what exactly happens when the IV crashes to the option price. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Hi everyone, welcome to the video. So you can see the M2M right over here. So first we'll start off by looking what exactly happened to the positions, and later I'll be showing you the screen of Sensibull as well. So you can see the M2M right over here. This is around 5.29 lakh. So here when I change to intraday, you can see from intraday we actually ended up making just around 50,000. So that means majority of the gains have actually come from positional trade and not intraday. So we made around 5 lakh, 4.75 lakh from positional, and we made around 50,000 from intraday. If you remember yesterday, out of the loss what we had around 3.5 lakh from intraday, and we had somewhere around 4 lakh from positional. I had also told you that majority of the loss is because of cash secured puts and also some positions which I have actually shorted naked in Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, and if it actually ends up going below that, I'll end up taking a future. So today, since both of them ended in positive, positional trade gave a pretty good recovery where we ended much more than what we had lost yesterday. But if you actually look at the intraday trade, we still have a long way to go and lot of losses to recover. Yesterday, we had lost somewhere around 3.5 lakh and today we have just recovered 50,000. That means we still have to recover somewhere close to 3 lakh to get whatever we had lost yesterday. So I'm pretty sure that we are going to do this. If not tomorrow, at least over the course of this week, we should be able to do that. Now I'll be showing you the Sensibull as well. So in Sensibull, if I actually end up, let's say, buying a call option of 16,000. So right now I have purchased a 16,000 call option, and let's say we are looking as of Wednesday around 11 a.m. When I actually look at Wednesday 11 a.m, the expected profit or loss as per this date, if in case Nifty doesn't move at all, is around 1924. So this is what I'm going to lose if tomorrow by 11 o'clock, if Nifty has moved 0 points. Let's say Nifty actually ends up moving around 100 points. So in this case, my projected profit is going to become 930 rupees. So tomorrow around 11 o'clock, if Nifty is up by 100 points, that is 16,113 rupees, my projected profit is going to be 930 rupees. But what happens when the market is going up? The uncertainty reduces, because of which the IV also ends up crashing. Let's say the IV right now is 37.5. Because of Nifty going up, uncertainty reducing, let's say the IV crashes down to 32. If this happens, you can see you no longer have a profit of 900 rupees, but you have a loss of 18 rupees. Even though Nifty has actually moved 100 points in your favor, you still haven't made a single penny because the IV has crashed. This is what is going to happen most of the times whenever the market crashes huge and when there is a recovery. So whoever ends up buying call option won't end up making money because the IV is going to come down. The effect of delta is going to be outweighed by the crash in IV. So this is something you have to understand quite well. Now I will give you one more example. Let's say Nifty actually comes to 15,900. This is a scenario which you don't see it happening every now and then. Very rarely, maybe during election time or something, you might see such things happening. So Nifty has actually crashed by 100 points. That means your projected profit is going to be obviously negative 5,400 rupees. You are definitely going to be in loss. There is no second question about it because Nifty has fallen. But let's say your IV ends up going to 65. So this is obviously an exaggerated value. IVs can't increase so quickly, so drastically for a 100-point move. You can see that even though market has moved against you completely, so it has moved 113 points against you, no way you will be in profit if something like this happens on a normal day. But let's say your day is extremely lucky and IV actually ends up shooting to 65, you're still going to have a profit of 390 rupees. So you can see that how your expected profit or loss is changing based on the IV of the market. So while the market was crashing all these days, the IV kept on increasing. So that's the reason if you had done a long straddle, no matter which long straddle you had done, you will definitely end up making money. But the same is not true when the market is actually cooling down and recovering. So this is something which you have to always keep note while trading. With this, we also come to the end of this video, and I also hope that you guys have liked this particular video. If so, then please do hit the like button, share this video as well as subscribe to Optionables. Thank you so much for joining, guys.